What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Lightsout Collective. My name is Chris, and I'm here with Matt and a longtime favorite.
Hey, you already know what to do. What up, my guys?
It's been a while.
The energy of the group.
Yeah, literally the energy, the heart and soul of Collective. Nate the Great. So Nate, it's been a while, and there's obviously reasons for that, but I just want to check in on you. How are you doing? How are you feeling?
I'm doing good.
Yeah,
I'm doing a lot better, as you know.
Yeah,
Tell the people don't know. I had an accident late July. I fell off a roof, busted my ass, fell literally right on it, hit a car in the process.
And some people might
did
be
not
asking,
know that.
Some people might be asking, why were you on a roof? He's a roofer. That's what he does for work.
For a living.
So there's not like, yo, Nate, what are you doing on a roof?
Right.
There's reasons why he's on a roof.
This isn't
It was
Jackass.
actually just a small repair. It doesn't even have to be the biggest of jobs to be the most dangerous thing. It was the smallest repair. It was supposed to be like an hour thing, in and out, where literally we just needed one more thing, and we were done for the day. It's
So
just
I
a
mean,
freak accident,
Yeah, like I was gonna ask, freak accident, but like, how was your mental afterwards? Like with the whole process.
Well, as soon as it happened, that first day it happened, I was in shock. I've been hurt. We're guys. My whole life I've been tossed around, thrown around. I've fallen, scraped the knee or two.
Yeah.
It is what it is. So I got up. I actually stood up, and I just thought it was a dislocated hip. I'm like, it ain't nothing.
Wait, how high was the roof?
It was the bottom of the roof was about 20 feet from the. No, it wasn't the biggest, one of the biggest houses, but
right, but
it
still
doesn't take
Still
that
a
much.
roof.
You
Yeah,
know,
that's what I'm
you can
saying.
even doctors say you can fall from 5 feet and still not get it severe. Like I got it severe. I don't know if you want any pictures to show the people.
Nah, I'm sure we'll save them.
I mean, I'm sure you guys have seen it.
I saw the bruising when it happened, and that shit was bad. So.
Yeah. So then going to that. It's a mental thing. I never been this hurt. I was in a wheelchair for 3 months.
Right.
So
Let's talk about that. Like, you're a pretty active guy. Like, you're the only one in the summer always telling us, like, let's
we
ball,
were balling.
let's play, let's
I
do
said
this.
it to G, my caretaker, my baby. I was like, no one balls up now. I was the only one. We were going every Tuesday.
Yeah, you were doing
Me,
your thing.
you, Sobi. I even got Mike involved. Ian was even getting involved.
Everybody was getting into
Malik was loving it. We were
Yeah.
getting it. We were meeting people there.
That definitely like put a hack in it. I think you were the glue when it came to playing basketball and getting the guys together to play.
I was always going, so
Yeah.
either you guys are going with me, or I was going by myself. So
from
either way.
playing every day to not being able to play, like, how were you able to do
Bro,
it mentally?
it sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Not even being
The
able to
only way I
walk.
get my itch in is by watching it now. Playoffs, I need the playoffs. Maybe we'll talk about it. But
We'll see.
Not being able to play. But right now, my doctor said I got a year, but I'm able to go outside, get some shots up. I can walk as of I'm at 9 months right now. As of 6 months, that's when I started my walking. As you saw, I had my handy dandy walker.
Yeah, you were doing your thing.
Had a
Now,
wheelchair. That
made it
sucked.
up 3 flights of stairs.
Yeah,
To be here today.
To be in Matt's house.
If you knew what I had to do to come to this guy's apartment.
Did you miss those stairs?
No lies. Right now, I look at it as good exercise.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
I need
yeah.
it.
I know we ended up going to the gym, I think probably like a month ago, maybe a month and a half. Yeah, a month and a half.
I was actually going to hit you up to get it back going again.
Yeah, we got to get back to the
Gotta
gym.
go
But
Thursday
you were
nights.
on the
Yeah.
stair stepper, and I remember being pretty impressed with the dude that broke his hip not even a year ago and being able to do a stair stepper. Like,
Right,
there's not
not
even
too
people
bad.
that have active hips
my
that
doctor
step
was
on
telling
that
me
thing.
I had to go easier because I went back to 5 days a week, and she was like, no, because I didn't do like actual physical therapy, and call it Mormon physical therapy at this point. My
that's
mama
what it
was
is.
busting my ass. She's making me do all kinds
I was gonna
of
say,
shit.
talk about your mom a little bit because I know your mom, and she's
Major
very,
inspiration.
very like she's a motivating factor for
on
you.
my ass.
Yes.
I love her. I love
Yes.
her. She's gonna see this, and I love you, but you on my ass. I need it. I do need it.
We
but
all need that.
Everyone needs a good kick in the ass. I ain't gonna lie.
She kept you
But as I
humbled.
keep reminding her, it was a pretty severe. I had a 10-hour surgery, so not a lot of people going through that and knowing what like.
So wait, let's go into that because obviously. So
What part? The 10-hour surgery?
Yeah. So the injury itself, what was it?
It was
Broken.
a broken pelvis, open. If you want to know that there was an open book pelvis fracture, and I ended up fracturing the back of my like. I
was gonna say it's more than just the
like,
hip.
Thankfully, this is part of the story I haven't said yet. And shout out to Nolan, my little brother. He actually kind of caught me, so it could have been worse.
Shout out Nolan
On the way down?
Yes.
Yeah,
yeah.
like when I fell,
Nolan
he
was down there.
he
It was huge, bro.
Holding my ladder. And then so he heard my big ass fall, and then he did his thing.
Broke the fall almost like.
Yeah, so it could have been worse. But
he didn't get hurt either. Nolan was fine, but
Really?
if Nolan wasn't there,
Right.
Yeah, it could have been worse. I could have smashed the back of my head.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Shout out
Nolan,
Yeah, bro.
my little brother.
not so little, bro.
That takes.
Not so
That
little,
dude, that
but
dude's
little,
more
still
handsome than
littler
Nate,
than me.
and he's bigger than Nate.
That took courage.
So yeah, he did
Oh,
his
he's
thing.
bigger?
No, he's about my size.
Like Bill, yeah, Bill.
Bro is
He's
jacked.
built-
He's more
built.
handsome than Nate for sure.
That's fucked
Always
up, bro.
glazing. Glazing my little brother.
Nolan's the
Goddamn.
man. I love Nolan.
Yeah, I ain't got no problem. I love him too. And thanks to him, I was able to go 9 months, recover, start. Actually, by Christmas, I was able to go to like a family Christmas party. So, it helped my mental in that way because that showed me no matter in a wheelchair or walker, I'm going to get through this.
So wait, 10-hour surgery.
10 hours surgery. I woke up, I had the thing. I was like, I just came out of nowhere, the anesthesia hits.
You were drugged.
Yeah, I mean, they had to put me under. All I remember is, the guy tells you to like count down count down from 10, and then next thing you know,
You're
I
awake.
got the breathing tube in my fucking throat.
High as a fucking kite.
Not even. I was so irritated by it. And as we saw, but if you saw the Silent Library Lights Out video, go check that out if you haven't.
Oh, you were gagging like that?
I don't have the strongest gag reflex. So they got a pipe in me to keep me alive. I understand, but like I wake up and I'm like,
Bro woke up to something down his throat.
Yeah, basically.
That's not it.
And then my father, I hear him. He knows that I'm like, He's like, you got to get it out of him. He don't like it, so he already knows. So he's like,
I can imagine your pops saying that too. Your pops got the craziest
like-
Worcester accent.
it's just crazy.
No.
But they took care of me. I got in, got out, went to rehab, and here I am.
No. Just
Here,
the process.
with you beautiful people and my habibis.
So I want you to quickly tell the audience, because this is what we live about, Lights Out, like going through shitty shit
Oh yeah.
and getting through it and seeing another side of that. So
A lot of people
mentally-
didn't know this story, right?
Yeah,
So,
mentally,
Oh,
I
yeah,
want
we
you to
haven't
talk
had
about
a
like
podcast in a while, so
Yeah.
tell the people mentally, like if they're going through something, what kind of advice would you give them?
there's nothing you can't overcome with time. That's all everything takes, really. If you really truly want to get over something.
Yeah,
I
time
mean,
heals.
You've also been through stuff. I don't know if you talked about your sobriety.
Oh, absolutely.
Having to go through that and, having to pick up. And then you talked about getting out of ruts and stuff. That's how it was for me. I was laying in bed every day.
I feel like it was an everyday rut for you that you just had
I
to
was
get out
in
of.
bed every day.
Yeah.
I had to crawl my ass out of bed to get in my wheelchair. And, some days I didn't want to get in my wheelchair, but I had to get,
It's like the small accomplishments like that,
Exactly.
You kind of chip away at it like, all right, this is first day home, like what can I do?
Like I spent 3 weeks in the rehab, so as soon as I got home, it was a whole new world. But I was home at least. Nothing's like home. That's the one thing people tell you.
Yeah,
You can
nothing
be
is
in
like home.
the nicest hospital rehab center.
Yeah.
Nothing like home.
Yeah. Home is like just it's another type of comfort.
But it was hard getting used to because at the rehab I could do whatever. Everything was on one floor. They had doors big enough for my wheelchair. I didn't have no problem getting to where
But you had to adapt to
bathroom
being
was
home.
right there. Instead, I go home. It's a little more challenging. But
Yeah.
you got to get acclimated. The people around you got to help you more.
Right. Yeah.
Everyone's like, "Oh, I'm leaving today. You're gonna be all right." I'm like, "Yeah, I'll be all right.
Yeah.
As long as you got some pre-made food in the fridge, I'm good. I got the microwave."
And as you said, like your whole family was supportive, like your brother, your parents,
Oh, yeah.
obviously your girlfriend G.
She'd be coming after work, working
Right, yeah,
those
it was-
long hours at
it
the
was tough.
dispensary and
It
then
was tough,
coming
yeah.
and dealing with my ass.
I know. I remember
Literally.
hearing all the stories of you being just bedridden and
And then
it
remember
sucked.
when you saw me
You're
at
the
the
active
dispensary?
one.
I was popping
Kind
out.
came in with his walker a few times. Came with his wheelchair.
I had the wheelchair. I was
Yeah.
coming in with the wheelchair. See if I get some pity points.
He would harass.
Right.
He would harass
Like,
me.
what you got
know.
for free? Come on, Chris,
Yeah.
boss man. Come on, boss man.
Always harassing.
Help a man in pain out.
I was gonna ask you now that I won't even say you're on your road to recovery. You're not fully recovered. Where would you say a percentage, like out of 100, where you're
I
at?
think I'm at a solid 75.
Okay, so what's the next 25% look like for the rest of 2025?
Start running.
Yeah?
I haven't
You wanna
even
get-
ran. I don't
Yeah?
jump. Like I don't do any jumps. Like at this point,
So
I
just
had
get the
my check.
calisthenics kind of moving a little bit, maybe.
That's what I'm missing.
Yeah.
But that's what she want. My calisthenics. I'm out there playing basketball and pick up.
Yeah,
pick
right.
up at Crompton,
And
over
your
in
style's never
Pittsburgh.
changed. You've always had the same.
has to now.
Now it does. You can't
I mean,
move that ass
you saw
into
with
people's
those
paws.
you saw with those game winners. I mean, I was swapping threes.
I think you
I
can
got
have
the
a
Porzingis shot.
Jokic type
I-
type play
Jokic.
style. Yeah.
Got that Porzingis on me now. Tingus Pingus, you already know.
You don't think he's Jokic?
Jokic?
I kind
call
of
him
play
Jokic.
like
Oh.
I got the little hook.
No,
I lost
of
the
course.
hook. I've been practicing outside. We and Gianna got out there yesterday. And
Nice.
She's
There
getting
you
some
go.
shots.
Doing
up.
some
Hell yeah.
post moves.
Nah, I wish. I tried to do some off the 1 foot, off my right foot.
But it's just like the pain's still a little there.
A little bit, but
Yeah.
it's more because I can't. It was mostly my left that broke, so now I'm like trying to do more moves where I'm pushing off with the right. Like,
Yeah.
a little
Compensating.
Yeah,
Kinda.
trying to land on my right, trying to.
Yeah.
But we getting there. Anything else you guys want to get into? What we got in the works? What you got?
So
What are you thinking?
yeah, I mean, so Nate, obviously you've been a part of Lights Out for a while, and you're one of the premier members, obviously. But this year, I think me and Matt have kind of game planned a little bit of. The podcast was definitely like our bread and butter. Like
Oh,
we
does that mean we're
always
coming back, Matt?
had good with it. The Lightsoutco pod could return. This is kind of like
I
a Lightsoutco
missed it. I
pod.
missed
We're always
it.
going to update the people on what we're doing and like stuff like that. But we want to showcase a lot of small businesses, a lot of small like creators, a lot of stuff around it with Locked In.
Yes, sir.
Locked In's huge. So
Go check that out if you haven't already.
yeah, we did our first episode on Verona Rose. Second episode should be coming within the next month. We actually have a videographer who's going to be on that. Pretty awesome.
Yep.
And then going on from that, we're going to have people from Worcester, people from Central Mass, just people from Massachusetts pretty much that have a dream, that have a passion, and we're going to have them on. And then as you see me and Sobi, we've had our show called Buzzers and Whistles.
Ooh, I've seen.
And
Go check that out. I think you guys gotta go check that out.
I think we have a important episode coming up where we're gonna ask you what athletes you actually think you could have beaten in your prime. So I think you got a list. I'm sure you do. Other than that, we just if you saw You Versus You, we made a short film. We're gonna have more high quality stuff. Did you enjoy that as a consumer?
did.
Good. I'm glad.
Unbiased opinion.
That
was one of the shots.
Good.
Yeah,
That was his idea
I was
too.
enjoying
not
that.
knowing anything of the project, and then seeing it for the first time.
It came to life. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
No, I really did. I really did.
'cause
Once it came out,
You helped out as crew one of the days, and like
Oh yeah.
we didn't really have like a.
I was
didn't
the
really know
light
what was
man,
doing
goddammit.
it.
Yes.
You didn't really do. It wasn't really a whole lot.
I was
but
flicking that
I was
switch
gonna say
like
the
no
light
one's ever
switch.
like
flicked it.
Nosferatu over there, fucking flicking the switch all day, dude.
That was good.
You gotta do what you gotta do. Either way.
Put that
But-
finger to work.
Listen, like this is the type of things that we're gonna be doing this year. There's gonna be obviously Life Lights Out, the vlogs always coming out, but streams
Yes.
as they come out, like
More
I
so
think
of like a
just
daily
like
kind of
casual,
hangout kind of thing. Yeah.
So I mean, this is pretty much what Lights Out's gonna do. Just try to create as much as possible, and then in the fall, I think you know what's coming in the fall. We got some.
Some merch.
You gatekeeping.
gatekeeping.
All right, I guess
Okay.
you gotta wait. So those are just the things that we're doing this fall or this year into the fall.
My biggest, I want to hopefully make it come to fruition, is a Lights Out library too.
Oh yeah, Lights
I
Out
think that-
Silent Library. Yeah.
I
I
think.
would not be opposed.
Okay.
He would definitely be opposed to the gagging again, though.
Nah.
Depends who's doing it.
All
Hey
new,
yo.
No Diddy.
all new challenges. So, show out this summer and
Yeah.
make the most
LOC
of.
summer.
Yeah.
I feel like last summer was like, I mean, we just talked about it. Nate was
Literally
going
didn't
through
get to
his
finish my
shit,
summer.
and honestly, I think we all were going through a lot of shit last summer. Last year was just a tough year for Lights Out in general, but so far we're in April and we had a good first quarter, and we're gonna keep
pushing.
moving.
We
Yeah,
keep pushing.
Keep
man.
that
moving.
momentum.
Yes,
It's-
sir.
As Verona Rose said, once they get that momentum, you just kind of keep going with
Yeah,
it. and-
ride it, baby.
Yep. This is pretty much it for the Lights Out Co pod. Pretty much, we're gonna do one of these every couple months. Just check in, pretty much talk about what's going on and so on. So, thanks for tuning in, Nate. Thank you for
Appreciate
joining
you,
us
my
again,
brothers.
sharing the
Much
story.
love to
A
all
lot
my
of people did
brothers,
not
everyone.
know the things that you were going to. I remember posting a story of you with your walker.
Cane or the walker.
Yeah, and people were like, yo, what the fuck happened to Nate? So, hey, now they know a
Oh,
full
yeah.
story of it. And
Get a little background into our lives.
straight up, I mean, they get a background in my life. I think they see too much into my life. So
Oh, come on. Who
I
don't
want
like
them to
hot
see.
Pilates?
I don't. You're right. I want them to see more of your guys' life.
If you have any suggestions on content you'd like to see, whether it be streams, adding games that you want us to play. I mean, if we ever get GTA, what's that, next year?
All right, y'all. Thanks for tuning in.
We love
We'll
you
see
all.
you guys in the next one.
Deuces.